Alright, yo guys, what is up? Joy's Gaming. I was gonna say Moxsy. Alright, Joy's Gaming back with another build video today. I'm tired, but I'm still making a build video. This is a tribute build, mostly, because it uses two Moxsy builds, and like it uses a third kind of build, but it's not really the same. It's just kind of the same spec as another build, but it's basically Moxsy's Immortal Moze build mixed with redistributors, which basically is LiveWire Moze. Now, what is LiveWire Moze? It was a build back in Mayhem 4 that Moxsy did that used the redistributor and a level 1 rerouter, or rerouter. Because at the time, I think it was a Mayhem 3 build actually, but at the time, we didn't have the ODOTM it was not very known, or it didn't even release, if I recall correctly. And since Moxsy hit 150k subs on YouTube not too long ago, I thought I'd look one of his most unique builds that he didn't like cover again. Or like soonish, he didn't cover it soon, like enough, or whatever, how you say it. He didn't recover it basically for Mayhem 10, so I tried to come up with like the most closest build, I think, is what I'm going to say. Like it's one of the closest type of builds that resembles LiveWire. And you can use two setups. There's one with URAD, which is the one I'm going to use in this video, and there's one with consecutive hits, which is better for bossing, but is a little bit worse for mobbing. Now, the URAD setup is okay for bossing, but you'll need to use weapons that have multiple projectiles that don't eat through ammo. The Sandhawk works. I'm gonna say the Sandhawk is a beast for bossing. Everyone knows that, but it is a beast for bossing, and it does eat through ammo, but it has 7 pellets, and I don't know why, but the amp on the amp parts on shields multiply per pellet, even if they're shown on card or they're not listed. The amp damage just applies to everything, and it is so nice. So like multiple weapons in this build, or weapons that have unlisted projectiles, are like super good. They're very good because of the amp parts that we have on our shield. Now for the build, there's two things you need to know. You're completely immune to your own self damage. So as you can see, I'm using a Scoville. Now this is mostly for mobbing. It won't really boss that well, but it's a fun weapon to use, so I put it on a save file. And the reason why we're invincible to our own splash damage is because we're using a level 1 super soldier. Now how can you get a level 1 super soldier? You can go and get a level 1 character and claim the you can claim the Volt card stuff if you have a level 1 character and if you have enough keys. But if you want it anointed guaranteed, you need to join a friend at level 1 and then collect it. It's pretty simple. It's just that that's how you get the level 1 version. Level 65 is still, the same way. You just collect it completely. But the level 65 one doesn't work because of how we're trying to get our health regen. Now as you can see, like this super soldier has 173 capacity. How will you be invincible? Well, you get a protective barrier for 5 seconds when your shield gets full. And you get fire rate, ammo regen, and movement speed, but we'll talk about that later. We're more focused on that protective barrier. So we're using a blood layer and a Deathless. Now the Deathless will put you to 1 HP and will put all your HP to your shield, but it doesn't give you the entirety of the HP. It just gives you 100% shield capacity. Like that's what I think people like me thought for the longest time, that it converted your health into shields. No, it's not like the front loader. It's not how that works. It's not like the front loader or Thin Red Line. This just gives you double capacity on your shield, but it gives you 1 HP. So we basically have double the shield, which is not a lot still. And we want the health regen rolls on both our, well, on either one, but if you have both, it's even better. Now, I have a couple blood layers. They're not, whoops. They're not god rolls. Well, they are very good rolls, but the god roll would be like, well, for mobbing, a 5 phalanx doctrine is fine. You'll do fine. If you have a 2 and 3 into desperate measures, 2 into phalanx doctrine, that's also good. It'll be better for bossing though, because desperate measures will kick in. It'd be more damage, but I don't have one with the right rolls. What you want would be splash damage, health regen, and SMG damage, because you use the redistributor mostly. Now I have one that has weapon crit and SMG damage, but that basically makes the whole premise of Moze a little bit worse, because you don't have the splash damage roll. Now on your artifact, you want AoE, max size, and health regen. I have an Alum Ball and Deathless. You can use. I think if your cryo efficiency is good enough, you could use a icebreaker, but I haven't really I haven't frozen any enemies yet, because it just dies so quick. Like at least on scale takedown, on true Malon takedown, and guardian takedown and stuff like that, you could probably freeze enemies and get more out of the icebreaker, but the radiation explosions just kill everything. It's pretty insane, so I like rocking the atom bomb. Now if you don't want to use URAD and you want to use consecutive hits instead, or next 2 mags and stuff like that, well, first of all, go for a victory rush instead, or you could use the pearl. The pearl is going to be your bossing one, your bossing artifact, and then switch for consecutive hits weapon, but have a or next 2 mags. If you have next 2 mags, that is fine, but be sure to have a back burner so you can kill your iron cub and get that next 2 max. Basically what you do is you down your iron cub health, or wait until he gets killed, and then use next 2 max. But next 2 max on Moze is not that great, so I'd really recommend using what should we call it? Yeah, consecutive hits. The reason why I use URAD is because it's covering a whole bunch of elements, and you know, Moze doesn't have the best element coverage. She doesn't really use ASEs that much, so like URAD is the best for me. In my opinion, it's the best. Especially like the redistributor in cryo. If you can get a, like, the max is 49 mag or 47 mag. You want in between 27 and the max. You want the one in between, I think it's 36 or something like that. You want that max size on a cryo redistributor with URAD, and you'll be good for mobbing. Or using any weapon, you can use any weapon. They do pretty well. So for the skill tree, it's a basic. It's not a standard skill tree, because we're going down to desperate measures, but we're not picking up Thin Red Line. We're picking up full can of whoop ass and flat off ingenuity instead of picking up Thin Red Line, because we don't want that. We're picking up armored infantry for gun damage, drowning in brass for extra gun damage. Damage with experimental munitions on crits, incendiary damage. Different measures for extra gun damage. We have 5 in Phalanx Doctrine, which gives us 10% gun damage per stack, and a little bit more shields, but since our shield is so low, it doesn't really give us that much. Then the green tree, there's more damage from Cloud of Lead, and we get ammo sustain. We get more damage from Starlight the Embers because it boosts incendiary damage. We get more ammo sustain and a little bit of health regen with redistribution. We get a little bit of weapon damage. It's from Scrappy, but it's more for the swap speed and mode switch speed. That is really nice. That 60% is noticeable. You could put more points there, but we maxed out Scorching RPMs because this will boost your Skagden damage. It gives us extra fire and crit damage, which it's good. We'll take it. Russian Offensive is nice because, well, you can run and shoot. That's it. You don't need the lifesteal. The lifesteal is useless since you're pretty much invincible at all times. Sometimes you're not invincible, but when you're not invincible, just shoot. In the air works. Like, you don't have to shoot an enemy, and you'll still be invincible. So purple tree, we have big surplus because when our Iron Cub shoots an enemy that's right up in his face, it'll just die instantly and give us that 400 and something % extra incendiary damage on all our damage. It's not only splash damage like Skagden. So we're getting Skagden plus big surplus on our splash weapons, and we're getting big surplus big surplus for our redistributor is very nice. It'll give us extra damage, and we'll get Skagden only on short fuse procs since the redistributor does not do splash damage. Now for our blue tree, we have no points in Vampire. That's basically all you need to know. It's a basic blue tree. We're not using the flare, so we spec into Stainless Steel Bear, and we have a little bit of points to Grizzle to spam our Iron Cup as much as we can, but the points here are mostly just because I don't need this skill. This skill is complete garbage, and we don't need Vampire. You could put the points into Vampire if you really wanted to, but like, it's not that useful. So we pick up the basic Moze skill tree for the blue tree. Pick up the most basic one you can find. For our Guardian Rank, I have them enabled because I play with Guardian Rank all the time, and I think most people do. If you're there leveling, you know, they're picking up their Guardian Rank. Most people do that. But if you don't, you'll do fine still. Just know that sometimes Hollow Point is very nice if you have a high impact gun. Combo is very nice for increased gun damage when you're spamming bullets. And yeah, that's about it. Top Tough, you could disable Top Tough for max big surplus. And then, well, we're on AM11. So yeah, I'll run through the takedown. Right now I'm my cryo redistributor, which won't do that well for these guys. I usually use a rad one, but right now I have my Scoville on. So yeah. This is true takedown, by the way. I usually run normal takedown, so this is a first for me. This is a first. Also, my Kib's worth is times 3, and I really wish it wasn't. I really wish it was times 2 for ammo sustain. But other than that, it's doing some pretty nice damage. Like, keep in mind that was URAD doing most of the shield damage. Now let's use this gun right here. And yeah, pretty much everything died in a couple of shots. But yeah, Kib's worth on this build is really nice. I really enjoy it. Now, since we have our cryo redistributor, we can knock down health bar enemies, shielded enemies because of URAD, and cryo also works on armor. It works worse than corrosive, but it still works a little bit. So yeah, we'll put our cup. You're gonna die. Ow. I forgot. I sometimes play like I'm not invincible. I sometimes like try to get out of like harm's way. Like, I try to get away from enemies so that my splash doesn't kill me, but you don't really need to do that. If you're always shooting, you don't need to do that. Alright, so right now I have like insane speed. That's because they didn't fix a glitch that I really hate with this, with the shield. Basically, when Phalanx Doctrine goes away, like when you lose a stack of Phalanx Doctrine, it like multiplies your movement speed and such. I don't know why it does that. It's just so dumb. But yeah, it does it for some reason. Now these fire heavyweights, I don't really like them because they resist Big Surplus and they resist Skagden, which is a lot of your damage. Well, it's not a lot, it's not all your damage, because as you can see, like, you can still do damage just because of the chains. But like, do keep in mind that as a Moze, like as a Moze main, you should know, if you're a Moze main basically, you know how flamethrower heavyweights are. They're just awful. So yeah, right here I can just try to cross here without really dying. I can shoot to keep up with my invincibility, and my health regen will just regen it all the way up. Then I just go here, just run around here as well, and I pick up more speed because my Phalanx Doctrine is running out, and then I shoot someone and it goes away when shooting someone, but like, yeah. You can use grenades too. Like, I'm using grenades to regen my ammo, more to the point, because my my max size is not great. I kind of need it. Yeah, this is more of a niche build than a perfect build because it doesn't struggle for bossing. It's just like not as good as, you know, my Evil Dread Moze or you know, like any like really bossing focused build, or like normal Moze builds that don't use URAD, because if you're a Moze player, you know URAD is not the best for Moze. It doesn't benefit her as well as like it doesn't benefit her as much as consecutive, is what I'm trying to say. It is good, like not as good as consecutive. Alright. These guys are still alive, I forgot. You get like many of them. Yeah, the Kip's Worth on this build is really fun. I really enjoy it. Can you stop being invincible, please? Can you stop going everywhere, please? Thank you very much. Does this open that? Alright. Oh, we have a fire everywhere. Alright. Like, as you can see, once you get these guys, the fire heavyweights, really draws your damage a little bit. But if you're using the redistributor, it can still like kill them. Yeah. Alright, another really good weapon on this build is the flipper. Now, I know flipper is insane on Moze. I know it's not a surprise. But still I really enjoy using it. And it's actually fun to use. Like, usually flipper spam for me is just very boring, I guess. But like, since it's in the build that's dedicated to Moxsy, I don't really care that much. As you can see, that's pretty nice damage. Like, it's not the best, like I said. This build is not like insane good because you lose damage for survivability. That's basically the whole whatchamacallit. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I don't remember words when I'm playing. And now I can't even see where Bonan is. Yeah, amp shots sometimes get in your way, like for seeing stuff. Like right now, I can't even see where I'm shooting. So hey guys, that was a build video. Also, in like about a couple seconds, I'll get like super movement speed. I want you guys to see this because this is hilarious. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to get notified whenever I do post content, such as stream or videos, like build videos and such, do hit that bell notification. Would really mean a lot to me. And yeah, look at this, super movement speed. Yeah, you can traverse any map like this. It's pretty insane, and I do hope it gets patched because this is very uncontrollable. If you are playing through like takedowns and stuff like that, I do suggest to sometimes shoot whenever you hear your shield go like and there's like no enemies nearby, or like when you see Phalanx non-trend going away, because your movement speed is too insane for parkour and stuff like that. So yeah, it's goodbye guys. What did someone say?